Hello guys and welcome to this Blender Grease Pencil news video. Today with another exciting feature. This time it's about materials and brushes. Before we start, let me tell you about my new free course to make a low poly 2D face to wrap around your 3D characters. Use the playlist link in the description to watch it or save it for later. So we have new placement settings for line materials using dots or squares that were added to the Common Blender 5.2 that is in its beta stage. It's an LTS version, which means it's a long-term support version that will be supported for the 2 next years. So this new feature will allow materials to generate dots or squares at render time, which is order of magnitude faster than, for example, subdividing strokes using a modifier or subdividing them physically in edit mode and adding more points, because previously the placement of dots or squares relied on the number of points that a stroke had. So each point will have a dot or a square, but now it's different. There are 3 placement modes: count, density, and radius. So count will place a fixed number of dots. A value of 1 means a single dot is placed per evaluated control point. That control point can be real or can be generated by a modifier like the subdivision modifier. This was the behavior prior to 5.2. Density will place a set number of dots per unit stroke length. It's not very clear here, but we will see it in practice in a moment. And radius will place dots based on the percentage of the stroke radius. For example, a setting of 100 will place touching dots along the stroke even when the stroke radius changes. A smaller radius will place more dots, and the larger radius will place fewer dots. So let's go to this file here where I created 3 strokes, each one with a different material named count, radius, and density. These are all dot stroke types. They're actually square stroke type. And the first one here uses the count placement, which is this one. And if we go to edit mode, you see that we have a square on each dot. And in the setting, we have the number 1. And instead of using a modifier to add more points, you can just increase the number here under count, and you will have more points without subdividing the stroke, which, as said in the release notes, will be much faster than subdividing the stroke and much lighter on your system. Then we have the second stroke that uses the radius placement method, and here spacing is at 100, and you see that all these squares will touch each other. Well, almost. You can change them to dots here and see mostly all the circles here or dots do touch each other except this one. There's a tiny space here, and that's because the spacing is at 100%, which is like 100% of this circle. And if we start from the center, I think, of this one and to the center of this one, the distance here is the same as the radius of this circle. And that's why even if we have smaller or bigger circles, they will always touch each other because they will use the radius in that area. It says in the notes that it's the radius of the stroke, not the radius of the dot itself. So it should be this radius here. And then to the third material and to the third stroke, which uses the density placement method. And here we are at 10. If we increase, there will be more points and more density. If we lower, there will be less points and less density. And here you see that some squares are spaced and some are close to each other because it uses the distance between the center of each dot to the center of the adjacent dot. So this distance between the center to the center is the same whatever the size of the dots. And that's the difference between this placement method and this placement method. And of course, depending on what you want for your drawings, you will want to use one of these 3 methods. And I think now the count method will be the least used because, as you see, it depends on the placement of the points. And see here, the points are almost randomly placed. So unless you want this random look, I don't think a lot of people will want to use this method anymore. See, if we increase the count, there will be more density in some places and less density in some places. And you will need to increase it a lot to have enough density to make the stroke here look solid. So this is it about these three types. We'll go back here and there is another feature that was added to materials, that is randomization. We added randomization settings to the new placement options above, which are of course count, density and radius. These allow the randomization of size, opacity and color of the rendered dots or squares. So these randomization settings were especially made for those generated dots, as it says here, generated at render time. So back here, when we use a line type of square or dots, and like line here with a line type, we have these options. And when we switch to dots or squares, we have this new submenu called randomize. And if you enable randomize, we are here in the first one, count. You can randomize the size. You can randomize the strength, which is the opacity of the dots or the squares. You can also randomize the rotation. And this is why I chose square, because with circles or dots, you can't see the dots rotating. Let's zoom in here. Also, you can randomize the color. You can randomize the hue, the saturation, and the value, which is, I think, the darkness of the color. And then we have a noise scale. With a lower noise scale, we get a gradual change, and with higher, we get more noise. And you see it changes fast from dot or from square to square. And previously we had randomization like this, but it was at the brush level. Let's go back to draw mode. We have this pen brush, and if you go under stroke, I think, yes, we have randomize. And we have the same settings: radius, strength, opacity, again, rotation. We have hue jitter, saturation jitter, value jitter, which changes the colors. And we have jitter. This is the one missing, which randomizes the placement of the dots. I think it was hard for the developers to include it at the material level, but hopefully it will be added later. And these settings here are different from here because these ones can be changed after you draw your stroke, but these ones need to be set up at the brush level before you draw a stroke. Let's change the color. So switch to color attribute mode, choose a color like this blue. Let's change the material to this dot stroke here. I think I would change it to count and change this to 1. Let's play with the randomization a bit more. So jitter at 1. Let's increase the radius and then let's draw slowly. And we have this. If we go to edit mode, select one point here, you see how the placement of points was randomized and also the colors, etc. But now if we go back to draw mode and you change these settings, it won't affect the stroke. It will only affect the strokes you draw after the change, as with all the brushes. And also these settings are still dependent on the number of points that we have on our stroke. I don't know if in the future this setting here will be removed or if both randomization methods will be kept, because each one, I guess, have their use cases and their strong and weak points. So this is it about the materials. Now that we understand the material changes, it's easier to understand the brushes. So the bundled brush assets have been updated. Changes include updated thumbnails and using the new added material settings for dot materials, dot and squares materials, which we just saw, and updated settings for the airbrush, the ink pen rough, and the pencil soft brushes. And all these three brushes use a dot type material. So back to Blender, and we can switch here to the airbrush, for example. So we have airbrush, we have ink pen rough, and we have soft pencil or pencil soft. So to the airbrush, yeah, it's huge here. Let's try it out. Yes, Control Z. We can resize it with F. And you see here the material that is pinned is a new material. It's called airbrush, and we can see it here in the list of materials. So we can either add a new material here or choose one of these if there's a material that we don't need, and we can change from here. No, from here, from this square here, you click and you can change to that material. So we click here and we can see the settings of that material here. So it has a stroke, a black stroke, and it has a placement of radius and spacing at 12%. It has randomize off, and it also has a fill that is transparent at 0%. So when you use the material, even with fill enabled, it won't draw any fills. Let's change to the other one, ink pen rough, and also it has a new material that is pinned. It's called ink pen rough. Let's again, by selecting this material, we go here and we select ink pen rough. So it wasn't here before, we selected that brush and now it's here. So click on it, and again it has placement radius, spacing at 10%. It has randomized size, and it has a noise scale of 0.11. It has a fill, it has a black fill. So with this one we can use a fill. Let's try it like this. And you see how the variation in size works. And if you choose a fill, you can do this. Then to the last one, yeah, pencil soft. And also it has a new material. Let's check it. So we change here to, where is it? Yes, pencil soft. And also it has a placement of radius, space and tan, no randomize, a black fill. So it works just like this one if we have fill enabled here. Yeah, we have some settings here, and these settings here, the brush settings, were also updated to work better with the new material settings. Now back here, we have new online textured brushes that were added as part of the new Online Essentials asset library. So this is a new feature in Blender with which we will be able to access online assets from inside Blender. To use the brushes in the asset shelf, allow online access must be enabled in system network references. Back to Blender again. So to enable those online assets, you need to have internet access. And when you open Blender first, you have this icon here. When you hover over it, show system preferences, network panel to allow online access. So you just click on this and it will open the settings under the system tab here. And you have here under network, you just enable allow online access. So you enable this, and now that icon disappeared from here. And we have also this tab here called asset library. And if you click on essentials, this one should be ticked, I think, include online essentials. By default, I think it's ticked. If it's not, you tick it here. You close this, and now if you click here, you see that we have new brushes. This should also appear here. If you click here on this little square, you also can access them. Use the wheel to move and see the new brushes. So these are all online brushes, and you see this globe in the corner of each one, and you can't use them right away. So if you click here, it says brush grass needs downloading before it can be used. Check context menu. And the context menu is just a right click away. So you right click and then you choose download asset. You download it, and now you don't have that globe anymore. It's a local brush now. Left click on it to select it. And here you can change color, etc. We have this grass brush. Let's try another one, maybe this one. So right click, download asset. Then, yeah, see, it doesn't work right away. So you need to left click on it to use it. Looks really nice. I'm just using the mouse. This one, right click, download assets, download it, left click, and like this. Very handsome brushes. And one last thing, there is a weird bug and nobody seemed to be able to reproduce it or know the cause of it. So if you encounter it, here's how you can solve it. It's a warning that says could not read asset listing online essentials. This warning appears when you first install and open Blender 5.2 and enable online access. And for me, how I solved it on Windows, it's by deleting the folder Online Essentials from this path here. And this guy using Mint says on Linux Mint fixed the issue by deleting the Online Assets folder. It is in user.cache Blender remote assets. I also disabled online access and closed Blender as suggested. So you better disable online access and close Blender and then delete that folder, either this one or this one. on Windows, on Linux Mint. So this is it. If you know how to reproduce this bug, see the dev here, Alaska, is asking everyone, thank you everyone for reporting that you experienced this issue, and deleting the affected files fixes the issue. But what we are interested in is to know what steps are required to reproduce the issue in the first place so we can fix it. So if you figure that out, please comment on this thread here. I will post the link in the description. So this is it. Thank you for watching. See you in another video, and as always, peace, my friends.